It is time. This book was literally previously known as Wet. Yeah, you heard me. W-H-E-T, Wet. So, if that's any indication of how this is about to go, Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is her newest release. I am I just flipped it open, and this is the artwork. It is on both sides. Steamy. This is her newest release. Unpopular opinion, I actually loved Bride, and therefore I'm sure that I'm gonna love this. Not in Love wasn't my fave, but I mean, I didn't hate it. But yeah, I thought I would just read the synopsis for you in case you haven't heard of this. A competitive diver and an
ace swimmer jump into a forbidden waters in this steamy college romance. Scarlett is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford, and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and recovering from an injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships, at least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, and all-around aquatics golden boy, Lukas, thrives on discipline. It's how he wins the gold, medals, and breaks records. Complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lukas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an arrangement, and as the pressure leading to the Olympics heats up, I don't think I realized that, heats up, so does their relationship. It's supposed to be just a temporary, mutual, satisfying fling, but when staying away from Lukas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading dangerous water. I'm excited.
Oh my god, good morning. Getting ready to go to work. Like, I still have to make coffee and then I'm dipping. But I read about that much last night, you know, barely anything. But I have a schedule. I have a routine to maintain. I have to go to bed by a reasonable hour or I will not get up. I will not wake up for any of my alarms. So far, so good. Just getting a little bit of backstory, a little bit of Scarlett's history, and that's pretty much it. I'm about to make coffee, and then we're gonna go to work, and hopefully there's a break in the day and I'm able to read some at work. Sometimes that happens. It really just depends on like how busy we are. Long time no talk. Currently in the parking lot before my bar class, and I'm just gonna do a little reading before I go in. Just wanted to talk a little bit before I walk over to my bar class. I had to park kind of far away, so I don't want to start reading and then be wondering what happened for the rest of the chapter. But so far I'm liking it. I got to chapter 9. Somebody's parking beside me and that's very embarrassing. I hate being perceived. I'm scared, okay? But I genuinely missed Ali Hazelwood's writing so much. She just is so effortlessly funny. Everything just flows so well. I genuinely enjoy her writing so much. Like, even her books that aren't my favorite, I always enjoy her writing. Today we match and I thought that was cute. Literally, I picked the worst time to do this reading vlog now that I'm thinking about it, because it was, today is Tuesday, it is the 18th, correct, and my main portion of this reading vlog started on like the 12th, so then of course you had Valentine's Day, and then mine and my husband's birthday was the 16th. And so it's just been a busy weekend because, you know, we got my friends, his friends, my family, his family, all that to see. So for 3 days straight, I was booked and busy. But I did read a good chunk yesterday. Like, I devoured so much. I'm almost done. I'm definitely going to finish it today. About like 100, got about 100-ish pages left. Gonna definitely finish that today. And then we'll go through my thoughts. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'll give some spoiler-free thoughts, and then I'm gonna have to go on a little rant because portions of this book are making me increasingly angry. and I think we need to talk about it. So there's gonna be it's gonna be spoiler free for like the remainder of the vlog, obviously. And then when I get towards the end, I'm gonna be like, we're about to open up the discussion. So if you haven't done your homework yet, please leave the room. But before I go to work for the day, can we talk about how sad it is? I pre-ordered this book because I pre-ordered it for my birthday because I was like, oh, how cute, it comes out right around the time. And then look how Target did me. It's literally wet and filthy. It's been drying since yesterday and it's just not. And whenever I pulled it out of the bag, I was like, why is it wet? Like, what is that? So that's like the top half. You see how it like went all the way through? And then it went through the spine. So it's like really not holding together well. And honestly, it looks like somebody like spilt their drink on it or something. Anyway, going to work. I'm hoping I get some reading time at work again. That would be really nice, especially like a brain break. But if not, I'm gonna read this afternoon for sure, and I'm getting this done. I need a conclusion because I'm becoming increasingly more upset, and I need a conclusion. I'm tired of the wishy-washy. I can't do it anymore. We did finish her today. Overall, like, really good. Gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that a lot of people, like, just in reviews that I'm seeing, I think a lot of people don't like Ali Hazelwood's writing in general, and so I'm not really sure why we keep picking up Ali Hazelwood books and then complaining about like her writing style, because her writing style has remained consistent from the first time I picked up one of her books. I think I have read all of her books except for Love on the Brain, because in the first few chapters it was just really cringe to me, but that's the only book of hers that I was unable to finish. The rest of them I've rated really highly. I've given everything a 4 stars except for Bride and Love Theoretically. I gave both of those 5 stars. So I really enjoy her writing. I think she's so funny. She does banter really well. I also love the way that she'll take a topic that normally I would have no interest in or would have trouble understanding, and she makes it so easy for you to understand. For example, check and mate. Like, I've never played chess in my life. Checker girly through and through, but she makes it interesting. Same thing with this. Diving, long meter swims. She made it easy to understand. She actually puts in the work to knowing exactly what she's talking about, and I can really appreciate that. I will say, there are a lot of things about this book that annoyed me, and throughout I was getting like, I won't even say irrationally angry, I was just getting upset. And I will talk more about that in the spoiler section at the end, because there's just no way around it. But I will say, our main character Scarlett, I found it very infuriating the way that she just completely, it's not even like shutting down in the moment, it is just completely shutting down for days at a time and not being able to talk about stuff. That is so annoying to me. Like, multiple days, like, I get take a moment to gather yourself, but it would literally be a big climax in the book, and she literally took 10 days to process. 10 days to process. That is for something that I'm just like, I don't think you needed that much time to process, girl. I don't know though, that might just be a me thing. Like, if it genuinely takes some of you 10 days to process something out there, let me know, because the feeling is not mutual. Overall though, I did like Scarlett and Lukas's story. I do think a lot of people have a problem with, you know, the way that it was marketed. It did seem like it was gonna have like heavier sexual elements, but I mean, it was fine to me. Like, I thought it was enough. Like, this was enough for me. Like, I had enough. Like, I was like, that's good. Normally her books are not so lust focused, or like they start out with that being the focal point of like what starts a relationship. Normally it is like more of a slow build, or it's more based on their genuine connection. But this one specifically, and Not in Love, her previous book, they're both start on the basis of lust, so keep that in mind. I do think because of that element and the way that this was like literally supposed to be Okay, my camera did die, so now I'm just basically playing a game of chicken, seeing when it's gonna die again. But listen, whenever I go into an Ali Hazelwood book, I'm not going into it for the smut aspect, but if you are going into books for the purpose of that, you probably will be disappointed. It is Ali Hazelwood. She has previously written young adult, and like her last book got a lot of hate because it was too much smut, and now it's getting hate because it's not enough. So I genuinely just don't think she's gonna be able to please anyone, and I had a good time. Like, whenever I go into it, you know, I do like some plot, but if you don't like that, then I would just pick a different author. That's like what I keep saying, like, I don't know, I just feel like people are not going to be satisfied either way. But yeah, I did really like their story. They had so much in common, her and Lukas, the way that they deal with problems, and I loved that they kept figuring that out together, and they would help each other through, always did little stuff to reassure her. She was just, I don't know, you could literally be like, I like you, and she would be like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I'm just like, girl, sometimes you just gotta take them at face value, you know what I mean? And she was just not doing that. So that was annoying for me personally, because I'm like, girl, sometimes we just gotta believe what people are telling us, you know? Last thing I'm gonna say is the entire book is Scarlett's POV, which I really liked. I didn't realize how tired I was of dual POV. I actually liked the mystery of not knowing what was going on in everyone's head 24/7, especially with the first conflict they have. You think that Lukas has ghosted us, and that's not the case. And if we had been in his head, it would have made this connection that they find that they have, the way that they deal with stuff, so like less intriguing, because we would have known exactly what he was going through in the moment. Only thing that's in his POV is the prologue. The prologue is completely in his POV, which I really liked. Just a little taste. I didn't want the whole book to be that way. It would have been too much, honestly. I'm really tired of dual POV. Like, sometimes it's just too much. Like, not every character needs a POV, and sometimes it's nice to just go back to the basics and be in one person's head. Like, it was really refreshing to me, honestly. Okay, we've changed locations. We've changed locations because it's time to get a little loud, okay? Because I have a lot to say. Spoilers, spoilers, if you haven't clicked off, spoilers. If you haven't read the book, come back later. The pen of it all, too much for me. Too much for me, and shame on you, Ali, for trying to give her some little redemption at the end, because she was horrible the entire book, and no way, Jose, is she changing after this. Like, that is just her as a person. From the beginning, I was immediately like, Pen's kind of a bad person. Like, she's not a good person. Just the way that she treated Lukas, and like, I saw somebody said that it was misogynistic to not like her. I'm gonna need her to seek help, because if Penelope was a man, y'all would want him locked up, and he would need to be locked up. Lock her ass up, because she broke up with a man of 7 years because she wanted to explore other options. Told him that to his face. She didn't want to be with him. She broke up with him after 7 years for a new flavor, okay? But here's the kicker. I still want everyone to know that I'm dating you, so you can't move on. You have to publicly date me while I'm off hooking up with other people, okay? And then on top of that, we're not dating, but then I'm still gonna come up to you after I've said all this stuff to you, which, like, we didn't get Lukas's POV, but like, imagine how that felt. Like, genuinely. Like, imagine your ex breaks up with you after almost a decade of being together, and then is coming up to you and like kissing you on the cheek and like putting their arms around you and like staking claim on you, like wrapping their arms around your neck after you've had a meet, like in front of your coach and all your friends. And like, the fact that, like, halfway through the book, his friends didn't even know they broke up until he was finally like, enough is enough. Like, I don't care. She might not be telling people, but my dog's right here. If you're wondering what all that smacking, yawning is, it's my baby, okay? She wants to be involved. She wants to get in this chair with me. You can get in. It's infuriating to me, and the way that, I don't know, and like once him and Scarlett started like having feelings for each other and like this stuff would be happening, like my blood was boiling. And like there was this one moment where Scarlett literally like clenched her fist because she came up to her man and was like literally all over him. Like, no, I'm not a fighter, but I might fight for, like, I'm not a fighter, okay? But I might fight for this. I'd be like, girl. And the way that like till the end of the book, she didn't tell people. And the way that she tried to, she thinks she has ownership over him. That is so insane to me. Scarlett wins her first gold medal and she makes it about herself. She's like, oh, you just want to be me so bad. Like, you took my medal and my boyfriend. And Lukas had to be like, I'm not your boyfriend. We broke up almost a year ago. You broke up with me almost a year ago. We'd still be together, probably. And the way that they wouldn't even be dating, like, if Lucas's mom hadn't died, they would not even be together. They were, like, so trauma bonded. It was insane. Like, and the way that he's like her emotional crutch, beyond unhealthy relationship on both ends, but the way that she uses him as an emotional crutch and he like does it, like I almost wonder if he's scared of like what'll happen if he's not there for her. Like, has she in the past been like, I'm gonna hurt myself or something? Because that's the way he treats her, the way he coddles her when something's wrong with her, that drop everything mentality. Like, you only do that if someone like is a danger to themselves or others, which it kind of seems like she is, because I don't know. It genuinely infuriated me so bad. Obviously, she did apologize in the end, and my girl got a wiggle. What is it, sweetie? You want to be in the camera? It's a no for me. Like, I don't care. Like, she apologized. Thank you for the apology. I appreciated it. Long overdue. Makes me mad. It genuinely makes me mad. They aren't real though. So I'm just gonna have to get over it. Like, in my real life, this would not fly. Like, no, I'll hold a grudge for everyone. Like, it's fine. I'll hold the grudge. Don't worry, guys. I will make the sacrifice and hold this grudge for everybody. Okay? Don't worry about it. I got you, babes. I'll hold the grudge. Our log was really cute. It was in his POV, and it's 5 years later, and they're both doctors, and it's so cutie. And there's a wedding on the horizon, and I loved that we got to see from Olive and what's his face, me blanking on his name, from Not in Love. My camera's about to die, so I'm just gonna get off before it dies again. But genuinely, I had so much fun, and the way that this book made me so angry. Congrats to you, Ali Hazelwood, for being able to make some of the most infuriating characters. I don't forgive her. Sorry. Don't put her in another book. Don't give her a redemption. And another thing, the way that like she did not care about them at all while she had someone, and as soon as she didn't have someone, she wanted to freaking weasel her way back in. She just wanted to take it. And the way Lukas was like, she's just mad because she lost a toy. Like, and the way that he knew that she didn't view him as a person, but an object. Anyway, 4 stars. I highly recommend if you want to feel something, whether it's anger or happiness.